And hello everybody and welcome back to another Ero race weekend. A new week, a new track. Today we are in Singapore for the Singapore GP. I don't know if it's a Singaporean. I'm just going to say the Singapore GP. Today it will be me myself, potentially joined by Crystal in a few minutes time, which would be very nice to see, as we have a few drivers coming out the pits. I believe the Williams drivers. I have no game sound. Is that right? No game sound. There's nothing. There we go, never mind. We have sound, don't worry. That was weird. Genuinely could not hear a single thing. Let me just quickly invite Crystal to the session, because he'll be joining soon. So just in prep, so I can, ride on board with people on their lap times. I'll give him the invite now. His name has disappeared, so he's appeared online when I've been trying to find his name. There. So as I said, today we are in Singapore, quite a tough track. Let me lower the volume slightly. Hopefully this should be fine. I might lower it down. You know what, I'll leave it on that. Hopefully it's okay, because I've been playing about with it just a tiny little bit. As here is Jean, Crystal. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So Milos is going to be the first driver to start a lap time. He comes round the last corner as he will enter turn 1, 2 and 3. A McLaren's came out on the track just ahead. It's Tim, but thankfully Tim did not get in the way. I'm getting up the track layout to see which turns he's going round. Milos will be going round to turn 6 and then entering sector 2, round turn 7, probably 4th gear, what Milos does. Then round turn 8, he does it in 2nd, upshift to 3rd. Round turn 9 in 4th gear, very nice. Then down into the tricky section, turn 10. Then you've got the right-hander of turn 11. Then the little left-hander turn 12. And then the blind turn 13. Which Milos does quite nicely. The sector 2 time will be a 1 minute 6.6, as he maybe looks to have locked up a little bit through turn 14. And then we have the monstrosity of the rest of the corners. Turn 15 into turn 16 and 17. Then you go up to here, which won't be here next year at Singapore. You've got turn 18 and turn 19, and then 20 and 21, and in the last two corners, it's really one corner, but apparently last two, turn 22 and turn 23, Milos comes across the line to set a 40.9 to start us off. James Sullivan will cross the line at 39.6, will be his teammate by nearly a second and a half.
Stevie is also on a lap. He's now at the end of sector 2.
Bastian goes provisional pole 3 tenths faster than James Sullivan. Stevie is on a 1 minute 5.4. Milos, yeah. Milos was on a 6.6. So if you compare that, it's potentially similar to James, potentially, but who knows, Stevie might get all the time in the last sector. Wani sits at 42.6, probably a few mistakes on that lap, I imagine. Will definitely improve. Stevie, come around the last two corners.
I think this will be a very good lap.
It will indeed.
It is.
38-8. Instantly, nearly, yeah, over half a second, I think, is the gap, right? Yeah, just under half a second is the gap Stevie holds. He normally does this, though. His first lap is always beyond everyone else's. And as we can see, Stevie clearly showing that he hasn't given up on the championship. He currently sits P2, trying to chase down Zolf, or Darius, some might call him. As that is the two Williams drivers coming up next, I believe, right? Yep, and then there's an Alpine. James going off the track
Zolf
for
is sitting
a
at
Suchel.
1:5.1 in sector 2.
That's a very good time.
Yeah.
Suchel is invalidated, so you know what, we'll go and ride on board with Zolf and we'll see what he can get. He's coming round turn 18, I believe this is. Yes, round turn 19 and then into turn 20 and 21. You don't want to hit the wall on that exit. Last two corners. Can Zolf potentially beat Stevie on his first lap is the question? He can. A
210.
a 38.6. It will put in provisional pole ahead of Stevie by just over a tenth and a half. A very nice first lap for Zolf there. It's Tim, so it's a 39.7. Who else? Black Wolf, a 41.3. Swiss Stack.
Tommy's starting his lap in 2 corners.
Yeah, you know what? We're right on board with him because, of course, Tommy having a very, very nice run in F5 right now. Of course, started the season out in F4, but did not perform in F4. And about halfway through the season, just a few races ago, got given the opportunity to race in F5. And ever since then, he's raced in Canada. The last 5 races, he's been on the podium 3 times, and the last 2 races, he has won. So, Tommy probably looking to try go 3 in a row. He is Purple Sector 1, but of course, Purple Sectors on their first lap doesn't matter. It's once they're on their second or third lap that Purple
Suchel is
Sectors matter.
10.5 for P3.
Round the last corner, what will it be? Very nice. You got it exactly right.
Yeah.
A 38.9 puts him just under a tenth and a half behind Stevie now, and puts himself just over 3 tenths clear of Bastian, who currently sits in P4. But going back to Tommy, second sector time is a 1 minute 6.2, so that's quite a bit behind.
Villeneuve is sitting at 1:5.9.
So
Also not
currently
the best.
Villeneuve is faster than Tommy. Interesting.
Still 8 tenths slower than Zolf.
As Tommy comes around turn 20 and 21, a little moment on the exit there of turn 20 into turn 21. Anyway, around the last 2 corners, 22 and 23, it's going to be a slow time of 40. We'll put in P7. So we go back to Villeneuve. 39.8. He goes ahead of Tommy, but will not be ahead of any of our drivers. It will put him provisionally into P7. Nobody on the lap right now, correct? Oh, Suchel maybe?
Yeah.
No, Suchel is not. Suchel's on an in lap. So yeah, currently no drivers on a lap time. But, I mean, I think Milos will be the first to start his second lap. Yeah, Milos is starting. So, you know what? We're riding board with Milos. Normally, we ride on board with either him or James on the first lap since the Williams
Reese just
team.
started his lap also.
Okay, we might go to him like halfway through the lap. Milos coming round turn. What turn is that? That is turn 5 he went round. First sector line, 4 tenths up. But He needs to be nearly a second up to get in front of Tommy.
Sully starting his lap also, no?
Wani as well, quite a few starting their laps now, so we've definitely got a load of people to watch. We've got Milos and Sebastian, and then into the likes of Nick Hill, then Wani, then James, so a load of drivers on their second laps right now. As Milos currently looks like he's on a good lap, like I said, needs to be about a second up to improve any positions. He was 4 tenths up in the first sector. Ooh, Milos is just under 4.5 tenths up, so he's only found about half a tenth in the second sector. Question is, can he find time in the last sector? Coming round turn 18 and 19, riding the curb maybe a little bit too much, but everyone has their preferred racing lines. Around turn 20 and 21, and Milos around the last two corners. Will he improve any positions? He will improve on his lap time, I think. Any positions? No. 40.4 stays P9. Bastian is next up behind. P2! A 38.689. It will put him 18 thousandths behind Zulf.
Oh,
Who
Stevie's setting up top.
Steve! Oh, I just saw that. Stevie is 7 tenths up in Sector 2. Is Stevie going to be a driver in the 37s? This would be an extraordinary lap from Stevie. A 37 in F5 potentially. Round the last two corners. He'll come now.
Very nicely.
Cuts it. Nice. 20.
Oh, what a lap
It's
from him.
over a second improvement. And it's a 37.8, and it puts him over 8.5 tenths clear of Zulf behind.
Much pressure for Zulf. I'm not gonna lie.
Not even Zulf. The whole
The
grid.
rest of the grid,
Yeah. As the few drivers, Swiss Stack, P5, 39.1.
Tim is also a half a second up to his time.
Oh yeah, six tenths could be
maybe for P4 maybe.
potentially, yeah, if he finds the time in the last sector. P4, P5, I think definitely is where he will be. The question is, has he stuck the time and has he improved? We're in the last corner. It's P6. He lost quite a bit by the looks of things. As that's the Alpine of Suchel starting a lap time now as well, just behind Tim, who hopefully will let him past, of course.
Just a reminder for the race, I think Solf has a new set of soft tires then for the race.
Oh yeah, interesting from Zolf is deciding to only come out twice. So he's saving a set for the race because I'm guessing he's thinking the amount of safety cars.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
It will definitely be 2+, I imagine, the amount of safety cars.
I don't think that's the best choice because the softs I think are very trash at this track. They're gonna overheat so much on the first 2 laps. But we will see.
Yeah, we definitely will see. Watching Suchel here, going to come across the second sector line now. He is, just under a tenth up, which will keep him in P4 currently, but who knows, he might find like half a second in this last sector.
I think Tommy just started his lap.
Yes, he did. We'll ride on board with him afterwards. Suchel coming around the last 4 corners now. 20 into 21. He's in second gear. Unbelievable. Oh, he dives in the pits.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna.
Good choice.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go on to the new tires and, really push it. As, like you said, Tommy just under a tenth and a half up on his time, which could put him in contention for P8 currently. Of course, he's won the last 2 races, so to see him not up there currently is maybe a bit of a shock, I guess you could say.
Okay.
First gear, yeah, I did see that. Most of the drivers... Half a second.
Only P7.
Forget everything I was saying. Oh yeah.
P7.
But who knows? You know, you might find another half a second here. Oh, I jinxed. Okay, that is brilliant. I love jinxing.
Oh.
That is Nick Hill invalidated a lap and Branimir starting one very soon. Yeah, all the drivers are coming out now to set their last laps. Wane is out.
Is there enough time for Tommy for another lap? I don't think so.
No, there definitely is not. He's deciding to stay out.
He's starting a new lap.
You know what? He might as well send it at this point. Because if he goes in the pits, he has no time to come back out. So, you know, take a risk and try improve, I guess you could say. As everyone is out, one driver who isn't out though is Stevie. Stevie's happy with his lap and will be staying in the pits. Yep. Stevie retires, so he's happy with that time. He definitely should be, because he's 8.5 tenths clear of Zolf currently.
Tommy's 1/10 up in Sector 1.
Wow. So he's up in his time without... No, but we will see him...
Oh, he's out of any URS.
Yeah, so we're going to see his time fall. I imagine he probably won't be up at the second sector line at all, I don't think. As he does have a bit of traffic, which isn't great. Branimir is on the lap time currently, sitting P15, hasn't set a lap yet. He's got a 1 minute 6.9 in the second sector. It's not the greatest of times.
Down on his time. Only a bit, but still.
16 thousandths, yeah, but he's still down. He needs to be about 2.5 tenths up to look to only gain one position. He needs to then be like 5 tenths up to gain 2. So top 6 are starting all their laps now. We've got Zolf coming around last corners now to start a lap. I think... Who's the furthest ahead of all the front drivers? We've got Swistak as Branimir goes P13. Yeah, Tommy went P7.
Oh, he's 2 tenths up.
He was 6 tenths up.
What a lap
So
him.
even without ERS, he still improves and sets himself up for a mid-pack fight potentially in the race.
I think
as like you said,
will beat his time.
Villeneuve nearly 4 tenths up.
2.5 tenths, yeah.
This will put him in contention to beat Tommy for P7. Villeneuve might have found more time though. We're going to have to wait and see. Around the last 2 corners. Is it going to be P7? Looks like it will. P6! He gets Tim, but Tim, remember, is on a lap now. Swistak has had a moment. There is a car driving by of the Williams of James Sullivan, went a little bit deep. But Swistak is out of qualifying. P5 is where he sits right now. Suchel is behind, with Bastian right behind. We're going to ride on board with Zolf. Zolf is 3 tenths up. Purple sector 2. He needs to be 8.5 tenths up. But I imagine Zolf will be happy. Oh, he invalidated. This opens it up for Bastian, who I didn't see second sector time, which is slightly annoying because I would have loved to know if Bastian. I would have loved to know if Bastian was up on his time. James Sullivan, P6, a nice time from him. Zolf will not improve. He was Zolf had a 30. Zolf had a 38, by the way, but invalidated, of course. Bastian, round the last corner. Will it be P2? No, it will not. Suchel, no. Swistak, no.
Tim?
It's only Tim. Tim's the last man to challenge for any more positions.
Oh no.
He stays P8. Tommy on an in-lap. Wane is pitting, so that is qualifying over and done with. It is Stevie maintaining an 8.5 tenth gap on pole position. I think that's probably one of the most dominant qualifyings Ero might have ever saw.
Agreed. Yeah.
Of course, Zolf set he 38, but invalidated on the lap time, so you know he could have been up there. But Zolf will definitely be happy staying on the front row because, of course, I'm not being mean or anything, but Stevie is known to not have the greatest of starts. So if he can just keep ahead, we might see Zulf try attack for the lead into turn 1.
Brilliant lap from Stevie, brilliant.
Oh yeah, it was a really, really nice lap. Wonder if there's
It wasn't
anything
the
being said
last
in the
lap, it was
chat.
the second lap, and this 8.5 tenths clear of everyone.
There's a few drivers saying, well done, Stevie too fast, all that stuff, which we hear weekly, really. But
Stevie
Stevie,
4
well, that's the thing, Stevie can't really race in other tiers because of the time in India. As
Oh
we'll
yeah.
just quickly go through the grid. Stevie and Zulf are on the front row, then Vries in P3, then the Alpines P4 and 5 of Suchel and Swistak, then James Sullivan P6, Villeneuve P7, Tim P8, Tommy P9, Milos P10, Wani P11, Blackwolf P12, Branimir P13, Nick Hill P14, and Dave Cooker serving a quali ban for this race, so he will be starting at the back of the grid in P15.
So rain, hopefully. No?
I don't think we want rain in F5 to be honest, but by the looks of things, with the times people were setting, I don't think it's going to be rain. Yeah, it doesn't look like rain. It looks
What a shame.
dry. No, it's not what a shame, it's good. Someone's instantly readied up. Someone hasn't changed their fuel or their tyre strategy. So that'll be interesting to see who has been that person to do that mistake. But yeah, as I was saying just with Stevie, just before we're underway, of course Stevie lives in India, and currently right now he is racing at like 1 or 2 a.m.
What a guy.
Yeah,
What a
he
guy.
races at 1 or 2 a.m. to race in the Ero. It's such a pleasure to have him. But anyway, we're going to be 3, 4, 5 red lights at the Singapore GP. It is lights out and away we go. Does Stevie get an okay start? Oh,
Oh!
Stevie's had a massive moment on the start. Oh my days. Zulf is comfortably up into P1. Bastian into P2. Swistak has had a horror start. Down into
Oh
P9
no!
under attack. There's a spin, a lot of spin. Who
Lot
was
of
that, if you know? As this carnage, Dave is on the soft tyres. Swistak is spun round. Dave has got 8 positions off the start. Stevie's in P4. What on earth has happened? There's already crashes between the likes of James Sullivan and Swistak, and then there's like 2 or 3 wide near the back of the field between the likes of Branimir, Villeneuve, and Wani.
Reese is on hard medium, hard tires.
As Dave is trying to get the move on Milos. Milos isn't letting it happen though. They're both going off track. As Tommy actually is getting involved now as well, trying to get the move on Milos. But Dave, out of nowhere, is up 9
Six.
positions. As we look at the tyre strategies, it's split between the hards and the mediums, and then Dave deciding to go on the softs because I mean he didn't do a quali lap, so he's got 3 sets of softs, so he might as well send it on a set of softs. As Zulf, Suchel, Stevie, Blackwolf, Wani, and Villeneuve all opt in to go onto the medium tyres, and then we have Tim, Milos, Tommy, Branimir, Nick Hill, James Sullivan, and Swistak all opting to go into the hard tyres, and then as we said, Dave is on the softs.
Soft is already out of the 1 second.
And he is catching Tim.
So Stevie,
Suchel?
one move. Suchel.
Yeah, Suchel had a moment out of the last corner. Yeah, and Stevie takes that position swiftly. Now Stevie on the hunt for Bastian ahead, who is on the hard tyres, remember. Zulf already got a 1.7 second gap to Bastian. Will definitely want to hold this. As Tommy,
Not Tommy.
the double race winner in the last 2 races, is round at Singapore. At the exit of turn 3, I believe it is. I don't think he has any damage. We're going to have a little check on this car to see. No, he doesn't have any damage, but just to having a moment.
Bastian and Stevie only on 50% of ERS. They're not gaining in Singapore. They won't gain. any
And
march.
Zulf.
Unless there's a safety car.
Oh! First safety car. No, a virtual. Nick Hill has binned it. Maybe fighting with others. We're going to wait and see. But Bastian will definitely want to try, you know, keep this, or no, not keep the gap, close the gap to Zulf, take it to his advantage, but currently it looks like Zulf is taking it to his advantage. He's gained like 6 tenths under this VSC to Bastian. But this is now going to bunch up the pack behind. Going to give Dave a great chance at getting a position or two potentially here. As he's on the back of Tim. When will we be restarting? Zulf is going in the last few corners. It might go now. He's braking a lot. It's going to be now. We're going to be underway, I think, very soon.
I think so as well.
When is a matter of fact? We're still not underway. This would be a horror if it was to go now for the likes of Milos, because they're in the first sector doing all the corners on the VSC. As we're underway, and Suchel has got Stevie on the restart, but Stevie goes round the outside.
Dave and Tim are fighting.
Dave looking for the position. He's fully using his ERS.
He's using.
Defending. Dave might look for a send.
No.
He decides to think better of it, which is a smart move from him. You really want to be waiting until the main straight or that DRS zone in Sector 1 to be making a move. You can't really overtake anywhere else. It'd be too risky if you were to. But this is definitely the toughest battle right now. Tim is holding off Dave as much as he can. Tim's already lost 3 tenths to Suchel ahead. Oh, it's his contact! And that may be a bit of Dave's front wing lost. We can't see any damage on the car, but there could definitely be damage on that car there. Is Dave...
I think Stevie and Suchel are gonna have a bad time behind Bastian, because you can't overtake here.
Definitely, yeah. Stevie having already used over half of his battery. Suchel... Actually, no, Suchel might be fine. Suchel's nearly got his whole entire battery still.
Still, you can't overtake, especially if a car ahead has also DRS.
But Bastian doesn't.
But Stevie does.
That is true. But Suchel's out of the DRS. He's had a moment on the last corner again. So Suchel keeps on having moments at the last corner, and now Suchel is out of the DRS range. Dave is still in the back of Tim. Milos in P7, it's the fastest lap of the race so far. As we're going to ride on board with Dave, definitely will be a move here, I think, right now. He brakes early, tries to get the better exit. Is Tim using? Yes, Tim is using. Tim is wanting to defend this position for P5. I think Dave's going to still send it though. He's going to stick it up. There's near contact. Suchel is trying to get back Stevie. They're side by side. And Suchel is past, I think. Stevie looks for the switchback.
Yeah, he's using.
Nah, Suchel's got it though.
Yeah.
Stevie decides to back off.
That's
of course.
good for Bastian.
Stevie maybe not liking this track as much because the corner which Stevie's going round right now.
Oh, there's a DNF. I think Black Wolf just.
Black Wolf and oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's so that's an interesting position to DNF. That's where
it could be maybe good for Dave. He can hit.
Definitely, yeah. Maybe Hearts to the end. No, definitely not.
I don't think. I think he should go for
maybe
mediums.
A safety car at the end though.
Yeah, I think he should go for mediums.
If he was to go mediums or hards now, and then a late safety car, box to the softs would definitely work for him. As yeah, that is a really weird place to DNF. There definitely will.
I think Black Wolf just got a standing wheel and then just crashed into one.
Tim.
I'm not sure. Tim's going to pit.
Dave's staying now. That's interesting.
The only person.
I think Tim is gonna try. I think Tim's repairing his front wing.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So Tim's taking advantage of the safety car, repairing his front wing. It will drop him down to P10, and he will be putting on medium tyres. James Sullivan will also be in the pit lane now. Only just for a new set of tyres. He's going onto the medium tyres. Imagine they will just try, take advantage of while these tyres can last, and then wait for, or hope for a safety car, maybe around lap 20-ish, which they could maybe go into a new set of mediums, potentially. If it was later, and they were to save the tyres, they could go softs.
The safety car really paid out for Bastian. Because he gained
Yes,
like 3
definitely.
seconds to solve again.
Interesting thing will Dave look for a move on Stevie? Because there's no team orders between these two, because of course Stevie has had previous teammates, but a few have been banned, a few have left, all that sort of stuff. But the question is, will there be a team? Well, I don't know what to say. Will there be team orders? No.
No.
Will Dave look for a move?
I think so.
I think so as well, yeah.
Steve only got 65% of ERS.
So safety car will be in next lap because it's physically impossible for it to go in now because it has to do 2 laps. So we're just going to ride on board the resolve as we take a little breather.
Kind of interesting, the strategies now.
Definitely,
Especially from
yeah.
Dave, from me. Don't know what he's going to do. If he stay out long on this soft and then go on hard, so do a 2-stop. But I think it will be the hards.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's no way he goes onto the mediums. I feel like it would be a very bold strategy if he was to go onto the mediums. But I mean, he could maybe make the mediums work, but he would have to gamble on the late safety car. Which, you know, could happen, but we don't fully know yet if that will happen.
I don't think there will be 12 tires at the end. I think if you finish the race, you get points.
Oh yeah, it definitely will be that, yeah. I think there will be 2 more DNFs.
Maybe 3.
I don't want to make predictions. No, I'm not making predictions, but I would say maybe 2 or 3 DNFs still yet to come. Because, like everyone has been saying on the build up to this race, it's Singapore and it's F5. So, anyway, safety car is in this lap. Zolf going actually quite a decent speed. He isn't backing up the pack overly too much. Of course,
Steve got 2 warnings, I think so.
Stevie on 2 warnings. Interesting.
Got a invalidated lap time and a warning.
Zolf is going fast.
Yeah, he needs to be. You need a big gap.
So the safety car is about to be in the pit lane now. Don't do what I did in GRS last season, and that is on the restart, being the person controlling it, and your tires being too cold and spinning on the last corner. I wonder if we're going to see anyone do the same. Zolf is gone. Bastian is caught sleeping. Suchel is caught sleeping. I told you!
Dave!
Stevie let Dave past, but Milos has took the opportunity.
Oh, no.
So there was team orders, but the thing is, they're not in a party together. It was just Stevie being kind and letting Dave past to allow Dave an opportunity at
Wait,
attacking
wait,
Suchel
pause me
for
a
the
second.
podium. As Dave might be looking for a move.
I saw
Stevie's looking for a
Stevie
move on
maybe.
Milos. Stevie trying to get back into P5. He sends it on Milos, and it is
Oh,
a
there's a battle
relatively easy
behind
move. It is Tim
between
and
Sustek and
Swistak.
Tim.
Tim is passed into P9, 2 points.
His Solve is already 1.6 seconds ahead of.
Of course,
Best.
remember, Tim's on the new medium, so he'll be wanting to use his advantage. As the drivers ahead are all bundling up, they're not getting anywhere. Tommy, Villeneuve, now Milos, because Milos is dropping off the back of Stevie slightly. So this is going to help Stevie catch up to the front of the pack again, really, if you think about it. This is going to help Tim. No, this is going to help Tim catch up to the front of the pack because of the likes of Stevie and Milos and Villeneuve, who are ahead of him. As look at the gap in the top 5.
Yeah.
It's all a second, so nobody's getting
Top 6
DRS. Yes, it's going to be Villeneuve who's going to be the first driver to get DRS.
Seven.
It's going to be
So one
six drivers not getting DRS, 6 drivers getting DRS.
That's the fastest lap. He needs to push his medium compound of tires now.
As I think Milos is at a moment out of the last corner I saw there. And Villeneuve is slightly all over the back of him. So is Tommy over the back of Villeneuve. Tommy had a very nice exit out of the last corner.
Tim, he left.
Oh, what happened?
He spun.
And there's another
Oh,
safety car. So Dave has been completely saved now.
Yeah.
He will definitely be pitting. Unfortunate thing is that he will most likely drop to the back of the grid to pit in. Tim's in the chat. He is saying, man, those damn curbs. Yeah, the curbs can definitely be a bit of a tricky way to coordinate around, I guess you could say.
Especially on turn 1.
Yeah. It looked like he binned at turn 2, turn 3, and around there.
Yeah, between 2 and 3. I think
Yeah.
he got on the curb in turn 2 and then just spun.
Yeah, definitely. Probably like the little orange sausage curb which is there.
So the only German in this tier DNF'd, unfortunately.
Of course you're saying that.
Of course. It's now Dave needs to pit.
Oh yeah, definitely. If he doesn't, he's a madman. Actually, medium runners, they're gonna be in.
Yeah.
Zulf is in. Suchel is deciding. Suchel's in. Dave is in. Stevie!
No, what is he doing?
Double stack for Haas!
Double stack for Ferrari as well.
So, nah, Villeneuve should be fine.
No.
Because Zulf is like...
No, he's not fine.
Oh, no, he's not fine. Okay. But this is going to be so unfortunate for Stevie as... Look at this! And Dave's getting the front wing change.
No.
So Stevie's just been held up for 8 seconds.
The Haas,
And has lost out on positions to Villeneuve now.
11.
Wow. Stevie will not be happy.
No.
Because now Villeneuve and Suchel have got ahead of them both. I don't believe this. This is...
Dolph is the first one on hards.
He is. The back 5 on new tyres. The rest of the grid, of course, Sullivan, or James, of course, on those fresh mediums. His tyres will be getting saved under the safety car, which he will definitely like. I think James will probably try stick whatever tyres he was on at the start. to a medium to a soft, I think. I think he will try go to the end as however long he can on these mediums and then gamble a safety car happens. That would be my guess at least. As Jack is watching, saying this is very boring to watch. A virtual safety car, and safety car in 8 laps.
What should we do?
And 4 DNFs from 2 bin-ins and then 2 crashing with each other. As Stevie at the back of the grid, he definitely
both Williams are together in one party?
The Williams?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think the only drivers in the party together is Swistak and Fragile. Branimir. Oh, and he got 5 seconds.
As he goes for another set of mediums.
Could go maybe medium soft, like I've been saying.
Or he said just the mediums to get in at the next lap in and remove his 5 seconds and go on hot.
Potentially. No, it will be. It's going to be in this lap. He'll catch up.
Oh, yeah.
And then it'll be in.
So I run back to 100% of ERS.
Let's see if anyone isn't. No, everyone is. I was going to say, if someone isn't on 100% ERS, I don't know what they've been doing. Well, this is quite an interesting top 5, I guess you could say. Bastian, Milos, Tommy, Swistak and James on all of their older tyres. Of course, James deciding to pit onto the first safety car, now in quite a good position with 5-lap-old mediums in the second safety car. And then behind him has Zulf, Suchel, Villeneuve, Dave and Stevie on the hards, and then Branimir on the mediums. Question is, how slow will Bastian go, and where will he restart?
I think it's the second spot they solved it.
Just before the last 2 corners?
Yeah.
It would be, yeah, I think that would be a good option. Bastian has to slow down a little bit, yeah.
And Sully can play a big role for the guys ahead.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially
James.
for his teammate.
Yeah, James and Swistak, even Tommy, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, if you think about it, are the real blockers right now to the rest of this field of Zulf, Suchel, Villeneuve, and so on. As we're going to go back to Bastian.
He's going in a very good position. He's P3.
Net P3, yeah, definitely. Getting both Dave and Stevie. Question is, when is Bastian going to go? That is the safety car in the pit lane now. It looks like it will be a very similar position. He's going the exact same spot as Zulf, I think. Before the corner. Yeah, exact same. And he gets Milos. Tommy is on the back of Milos. Tommy's going to look for a move into turn 1 on Milos. He's going to go side by side. Will there be contact? Don't think there was contact. Nice clean race, and Tommy is up into P2, putting Milos in a very bad position to be under threat from the drivers behind.
What happened to Villeneuve?
Yeah, Villeneuve has a few mistakes. James side by side with Swistak, and his left. Swistak fully compromised. Zulf is passed, and now Zulf is on an attack to try and get James ahead. As there will be team orders here, watch, between Swistak and Suchel. There'll be a switch. Zulf was a bit deep. At this next corner, Suchel will be let past. Watch right here.
Oh, that's...
Oh, but he's lifted himself for Dave. Oh, this contact! Nearly. Dave gets rammed a little bit.
That wasn't the best place from Swistak.
No, he just broke a bit too much.
Yeah.
And now he's holding up Stevie. Oh, Stevie!
No!
I'm sorry, Stevie, but that was Not one of your smartest moves.
Zolf lost the position
Zulf
to
and
Suchel.
Suchel. Oh, this is for net P1, I've just realised. Wait, Suchel's missing a bit of his
Oh,
front line. No, he's not. Dave sending it for net P2 around the outside.
No.
Suchel does leave the room, but Dave. Oh!
No!
He does wait.
No!
He does wait. He doesn't take the
Yeah.
position, which is fair sportsmanship. But now they've just lost 2 seconds to Zulf, who's now
But the guy's
clearly in net
behind.
P1. But look at the gap to the top 4 now.
Yeah. But Zolf is on fresh hearts.
That's true. Dave looking for a move on Suchel now. Properly this time, I imagine. On this next straight would be my guess. Stevie will as well. I think we might see a double Haas move here. Dave looking to try to get past Suchel. Stevie on Villeneuve. He's going to go down the inside, which will lead to the outside. Villeneuve backs out. So Stevie is up into P8. A nice move from him. Zulf gained about 3 tenths so far on James. Bastian keeping a second gap to Tommy. Tommy keeping the second gap to Milos. Milos struggling to hold off his teammate James behind, who's of course on those medium tyres. James is just keeping Zulf out of the DRS now as well.
Zolf gained just nearly 1 second to Sully on the last lap.
Yeah, he's definitely pushing it. The gap was literally just 1.3 and now it's down to 9 tenths. So by the looks of things, Zulf will be getting DRS. Yeah. Will James be getting DRS is the question. Maybe in a party with his teammate? I don't think so, but if they were, there would definitely be a bit of teamwork. James will get DRS to defend off of Zulf behind. No, he's not actually. Oh wait, no, there's not DRS straight there.
No, it is.
I'm silly. Oh yeah, DRS has only been enabled now. Forget what I was saying.
Tommy's back on the DRS on Bastian.
Oh wow, he just got it. Milos didn't know.
Sully maybe?
Nah, I don't think. Maybe. I don't think so. I think if anything, good teammates, Milos would have let James past, I think. But I may be wrong, because their tyres are going to be at around the same tyre bar now. Because the mediums go about 12, 13, maybe 14 laps. Hards go about 16, 17 laps. So they've still got 3, 4, maybe 5 laps to go on their tyres. Which means they might be in the same. He is. But look at the gap to Suchel now. Suchel and Zulf. Still, it was just 3 seconds. Let's look at this gap between Bastian and Tommy. Tommy keeping a 1.5 second gap. And Milos in the DRS range. Oh, potentially not though. It's going to be really, really close. Tommy is really pushing it now. And I don't think he's going to be giving Milos DRS. Oh, no, I don't think he does. Does he? No, he does not. It's James. Oh, what a save from Milos. But now, Zulf and Milos.
Oh, no.
Now he's going to look for a switchback. He will go for a move on the next mini straight. Definitely, he'll go for a move here.
Dave maybe goes for a move as well.
We'll see Zulf coming around the corner. Using.
No. A bad exit from Dave.
Yeah, Zulf decides not to use. He's not going to go for the move. Milos is taking defensive lines, but there is no need. Dave nowhere near either. Stevie is also behind Dave. Dave a bit. Oh, Dave really wide. Maybe holding up Stevie? It'd be interesting, maybe.
Do you think the Haas guy is going to fight each other?
Oh, Milos. What on earth is Milos doing there? Breaking the slip from Zulf, he just pulled to the left of the track.
As he nearly loses the DRS.
Nearly, but he doesn't. And Zulf's going for it now, I think. Yeah, Zulf is looking for the move now. He's going to sell. Oh! Switchback, maybe? Yeah, he's looking for the switchback. He's going to look for the inside.
Oh no.
Backs out. Smart decision. He's left Milos, though, on not the greatest line.
3 seconds.
There's James Sullivan, Milos' teammate, currently sitting in P3, gets a time penalty.
And was gaining so much time to the guy's side.
Yeah, Milos is defending like a lion, and Suchel has gained 2 seconds on the drivers ahead.
Nice exit from Zolf.
He's going to look for a move, yeah. I think this is the move done. No, it's not. Forget what we were saying. Milos is still there. Zolf looking to try move up into P4. Milos keeps it for now.
Nice
Brilliant defending work. Suchel is now in the DRS range. So we've got a train from P4 down to P8 now. 12 points. 12 points to 4 points.
For a move now.
Milos is still going to stick it, Zolf. But no. Zulf is ahead. There's a spin at the back. It is Swiss stack. Oh, there's a bit of contact between the Haas drivers and Suchel. A little bit. There wasn't much, but Stevie nearly round because of Dave going into Suchel and Suchel having a little moment. The gap between Bastian and Tommy. Bastian is keeping the pace. He is very fast around here right now.
There's a big deal. Oh, Stevie's going for move and hit Suchel. What a stupid move it was.
Again!
Yeah, he just wanted to
that's the That's the second
Suchel.
time Stevie has tried to go a move there. And he's hit someone. I think it was Swistak the first time and now Suchel. So Stevie's now took out both Alpine drivers.
They won't be happy. I think that should be an interview for the both Alpine guys.
Oh, Stevie lost a bit of his front wing. He goes into the wall. Oh, he's fully in the wall. Stevie's front wing's completely gone now. So that's him in the pits. And race over maybe.
Bad to worse from Stevie.
Having all these incidents, now having to dive in the pits, will definitely be for medium tyres.
First they nearly spun at the start.
So Stack gets the 3 seconds. Anyone? No, nobody's fighting. Only one is Branimir to Villeneuve, the only driver to be getting DRS right now. So Stevie's in the pit lane, repairing his front wing. He will be coming out behind Swistak. He will be coming out not in the points anymore.
If there were team radio, I think Swistak just would say karma.
Yes. And I imagine Suchel and Swistak are in a party together. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
A load of drivers potentially getting DRS. Zulf, maybe on James. Dave, maybe on Milos. Villeneuve, maybe on Dave. And then Branimir definitely getting it on Villeneuve. Did Villeneuve get? No. Did Dave get? No. Did Zulf get? No. But the gaps are so close, they're maybe a tenth or two off of getting the DRS.
Cameron?
Yes?
I got sad news. I need to leave. Unfortunately.
It's fine.
Just for the half.
No problem. On you go.
Then, Ero, have a nice evening. Watch F4 later to see how Ennis is gonna win. Yeah. Then, have a great evening.
You
see you guys.
Too. So, that is now me all alone. Crystal haven't left now means It's back to what it was a few races ago and pretty much the whole start of the season of me being alone in the commentator booth. I don't mind being joined alongside someone or being alone. Maybe preferable alone because, you know, you have to then concentrate more. You actually have to spectate the right people, get the right camera angles, all that kind of stuff. I quite like that. But Dave, on the back of Milos. Milos is struggling on these 16 lap old tyres now. As Dave is on 8 lap old hards. Might look for a move here. He's got a beautiful exit. Not using the ERS, using a bit now. Side by side with Milos. Milos, oh, he leaves in the room, but barely. And Dave is going to try to get the move. Is Milos going to stick it? No, he will not. Dave is up into P5. And now James is sacrificing of him getting DRS to hold up Zulf as... Oh, James is in the pit lane. And never mind, forget everything I was saying. That is... Oh, Villeneuve has went straight on. And he's having troubles getting back onto track. He's actually lost a bit of his front wing by the looks of things right now. Like I was saying, James Sullivan is in the pit lane on another pair of mediums goals. Stevie, a 3-second time penalty behind Swisstack now. Will be looking to try get points this race. Don't send it here, Stevie. I don't know what to think of that. It's a bit weird. Stevie says his fastest lap of the race. 42.8. The gap between Bastian and Tommy is staying quite solid. Oh, Tommy, it's a massive moment. And Zulf is right behind him now. Oh, Zulf goes into the back of Tommy. And Zulf trying to wait up for Tommy. He's given the... Wait. Zulf has just waited like 3 or 4 seconds to give the position back to Tommy. Now has Dave right behind him. And now the gap to Bastian is 9 seconds. Bastian, if you hear me and if you're listening to the stream, you have to pit now. You're going to come out in the cleanest air possible. You've got a 9-second gap to the drivers behind. Bastian takes it as an advantage. He might have heard me potentially. Bastian is in the pit lane, just don't speed. Nice. Bastian is in the pit lane. Tommy deciding to stay out, so Tommy will take the lead of the race. Bit wide there though. Zulf is right behind. Zulf may be looking for the lead of the race. Dave is in net P2, sitting in P3. Question is, Bastian will come out in clean air, as I said, the cleanest of air. Look at the gap he has. Milos has decided to came in and will put on mediums, but now Bastian is maybe going to have James relatively close to him behind, but he's going to have about 10 to 15 seconds of clear air in front. James is relatively close behind, as Bastian has 13.5 seconds of clean air. Just get the tyres heated fast and keep James out of the DRS range. That will be Bastian's aim, and I think he will definitely be able to complete that aim, as Tommy is holding up the drivers behind. He's having mistakes left, right and centre, and it's holding up Zulf and Dave dramatically. Thankfully. Oh! Zulf is having a massive moment on the exit. He tries to turn the ERS on way too early, and now it's Dave in the net race lead. As Dave could potentially be on for a win in his second race in the row potentially, as out of nowhere, Branimir is up into P4, Suchel's back up into P5. Bastian is, of course, having just paid. He's keeping James out of the DRS range, which will be very beneficial later on in the race. Bastian also has 80% ERS, so if he needs to use it, he can. Question is though, can he gain the amount of time he needs to the drivers ahead? I mean, the gap was 13.5 seconds. It's now 12. So he's gained about a second and a half in that lap alone. But that might not be enough to take the lead of the race. Because a second and a half every lap is about, for what, 11 laps is like 17.5 seconds. The gap to the race lead is 16.5. But the tyres will fall off. So Bastian might go for mind damage there. He goes into the wall trying to get a good exit. It does not look like he does. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did there potentially. Tommy is still holding everyone up here. Dave, of course, is now in P2. Zulf is having a few moments. Dave is on 60% ERS. Dave is playing this so smart. As Tommy, I think we definitely know what Tommy is doing right now. With the safety cars, his tyres have been saved quite a bit. He is gambling on a safety car. If not, it's going to have to be Softson for Tommy. As I don't think he's going to go into the pits now. No, he will not. He's going to be staying out for a few more laps, I imagine. Hoping for this one safety car to be coming out. The question is, will someone cause one? And if someone does, who will it be? As could we see maybe a move from a driver behind the likes of Zulf on Dave, maybe? Zulf is too far back to be looking for a move. As this front four train is really the most important thing to be watching right now. There isn't much else going on except for this minor Stevie versus Milos battle. Stevie nearly having Milos out of the DRS range. So we're just going to go back on board with this top four. Two Aston Martins, a Haas and a Red Bull. Suchel also looking to maybe join in soon. Interesting thing to note. Branimir has a 5-second time penalty, so currently it is Suchel sitting in that P4 position because of that penalty. Branimir also will have to pit again, so really the Aston Martins are fully gambling on a safety car right now. If not, both Aston Martin drivers' races are ruined. Dave's not going to get DRS. Tommy has got Dave out of the DRS on 21 lap tards. Tommy's only went about a tenth and a half slower than his PB lap time. Compared to Dave, who's now struggling on these tyres. This is getting very, very interesting. Zulf is taking the advantage of Dave not having DRS. He's going to look for the net race lead. And he's going to think better of it. He's going to back out. He used about 15% ERS there to not even get the move done. You do not want to be doing that around here because it's so hard to save ERS around here on this track. We can look at the symbol for the pits next to the fuel. Tommy is being told to pit. Zulf is being told to pit. Branimir is being told to pit. Suchel's being told to pit. Bastian is being told to pit for some reason. Everyone is nearly being told to pit. But of course, there's currently no reason to be pitting as Tommy hasn't been going as fast as he was last lap. He's 5 tenths down in his PB lap time. And might just keep the second gap to Dave. It's going to be really close though to whether Dave gets this DRS. Oh, yeah, Dave will be getting DRS now. Tommy is staying out yet again. The top four, now Suchel joining in as well, are taking a massive gamble here. We could see, I mean, Bastian, like we said, the Bastian could be on for the win here. If there isn't a safety car, I think the rest of these drivers are going to have to pit. Zulf, Suchel, and Dave might all try gamble and stay out, but I don't think the tyres will survive. As Dave is setting PB lap times, Dave is pushing the tyres now. A few laps ago, it looked like he was struggling. Now he's closing in on Tommy and might look for the lead soon. As, of course, the gap between Bastian and the drivers ahead was 13.5 seconds. It is now 7. So he's gained 6.5 seconds in 3 laps. That is Villeneuve round. Could it be a safety car? Or is it a retirement in the pit lane? It's a retirement in the pit lane, it looks like, for Villeneuve. Or a fastest lap attempt. He is putting on the softs. It will be a fastest lap attempt. Who will he be taking it off of is the question. Stevie. Haha. So, Villeneuve is going to be very close to getting lapped. But he is going to be pitting for softs and a front wing repair to try to take the fastest lap from his former teammate Stevie. As Dave potentially might not be getting DRS again, it's going to be very close, but he does manage to get it. As Branimir has given up on the possible strategy, he is pitted on 14 lap old mediums. Bastian! Bastian's damaged his front wing! Oh! And now Fragile's ahead of... What? Bastian just went from possibly taking the win to now being, what, net P5? Wow. And he's so far behind. So now, really, this whole grid needs a safety car. Especially the top 4 now, all on the old hard tyres, need this. As Tommy setting a PB lap right now on 23 lap old hards from the start of this race. That's unbelievable how he's been able to do this. Zulf might not be getting DRS from Dave. Dave's pushed it. He's used about like 20% of ERS by the looks of things. Because he was mid-60s, he's now mid-40s. Yeah, Zulf won't be getting DRS, so now Dave can eye up a move on Tommy, who still isn't pitting as we enter lap 25 of 31. Tommy's still on the tyres from the start of the race. I don't think Dave will go for a move now, no. Using maybe a little, but Tommy is being able to keep the lead as of right now. Dave is 3 attempts up on his PB time. You know, makes a lot of sense that. Zulf 1.3 behind. I want to see if he has damage. I know I like this view, but not now. Everyone in the top 4 has an okay front wing. All of a sudden, it could be James on for the win. Because James is at 8.5, now 8-second gap, to Stevie behind, is on 7 lap old medium, so the tyres will go to the end. He may have this 3-second time penalty, but if the top 4 receive punctures and all that kind of stuff, they're going to have to pit, and that leaves James in the best possible position. As Villeneuve sets the fastest lap of the race, so Stevie no longer has the fastest lap. Villeneuve, his former teammate, takes it from him. As Tommy's in, Tommy's tyres have fully imploded. He might even have a puncture. I can't tell. The back left, I think, has a puncture. He's been forced to pit. And he's now going to drop back to what could be P7. He will put on soft tyres, but sadly that is Tommy's chance of a win over. And now it is Dave on his second race in a row in the lead of the race, managing a 1 second gap to Zolf, keeping him out of DRS. Interesting thing to note, Dave has 40%, Zolf is saved. He's on 30%. Suchel, who is behind, is on 10. But the question is, will their tyres go to the end? Because we've still got 5 laps to go, which will put their tyres in an around 23 lap hold. And if you have normal tyre pressures, that will definitely not work. Because, I mean, Tommy, having gone 24 laps and then getting a puncture on the 25th, will definitely show a bit of danger to this top 3. Now, James has caught up about a second to the top 3 right now. So James could maybe eye up a move on the likes of Suchel, who may slightly drop back. As, Tim has reported, as Tim DNF'd, he has already reported a driver who was the current race leader. Yes, Dave has been reported. Safety car comes out, I get slow because of the delta, and he hits me and makes me lose the wing. So Dave potentially might get a penalty, which now means Zolf could be on for his first win of the season, despite being the championship leader by about 25 to 30 points. Yes, you heard that right. Zolf hasn't had a win this season. He's been having constant podiums, constant top 5s. I think he's finished in the top 5 in every race, I think. But we could see a Zolf, Suchel and Dave podium, of course. I think across the line, unless something happens, it might be Dave, Zolf and Suchel. But there definitely could be changes in the stewarding after the race, including this report on Dave from Tim. As, I mean, this is really the only train or fight which we can watch right now. Everyone else has really just got like a 3-4 second gap to each other. Not much really going on. So let's see. Suchel closing in on DRS on Zolf potentially. So we're gonna be entering the last 3 laps of the race. Dave, this is his second race in Ero, as I have mentioned a few times, and for him to maybe be getting the win in Singapore, and of course, as I've been saying, the shooting decisions might knock him off of the win. James has had a mistake, and Stevie's behind. I don't know what's happened here, but James has dropped like 3.5 seconds to the drivers behind, and now Stevie has got an absolutely beautiful run to challenge for P4. He goes down the inside into turn 1, and he gets the move done. As Tommy is past Milos now for P6. As Suchel is within the second of Zolf. Zolf isn't able to keep up with Dave right now, but I have a feeling it might be Zolf saving the tyres, trying to not get a puncture. Yeah, he's dropping very fast. Suchel has got the DRS. That's a crash, a Swiss stack. Just before the 2 last corners, he spins round and drops out of the points now into P11. Of course, he had that time penalty, but I think he was still 3 seconds ahead of Villeneuve. But we will now be entering the second last lap of the race, and Dave has a very nice 2.1 second gap to Zulf behind. The question is, will he be able to keep it? And then, will he get penalised after the race? Of course, nobody will find out until next week if he has been penalised, unless you join the Discord of Ero. I believe it is in the description of this race. So go on down to the description. I think there is an invite link to Ero. If not, you could add a driver or two potentially. As James's tyres have fallen, Tommy's going to look for P5 now. Wait, Tommy's could be on for P4 because there's a 3 second gap to Stevie, and Stevie's on 3 seconds. So Tommy all of a sudden could be on for P4 in this race. But James is doing a bit of handiwork for Stevie right now, holding up Tommy, but Tommy's going to look for a move. Isn't going to be able to get any move done though, but he's very close, has a moment. But we're going to go back to the front. That's a Milos DNF. Where has he binned it is the question. He's binned it on the left of the track, and all of a sudden Milos will not be getting any points in this race. James Sullivan is went ahead, and he's went front wing into the wall, and there might have been a fight with Tommy potentially, because Tommy has fallen off of the back of Stevie potentially. But we do enter the last lap of the race now, and the top 3 are all somehow still alive on these tyres. 22 lap old hards. Zulf is fighting to keep P2. Suchel is sitting in P3 quite comfortably right now, as Dave is keeping P1. What an incredible race this has been from Dave. Not to mention, this is a last to first for Dave. I've just remembered that. Dave had a quali ban heading into today's race and started P15, and he's now leading the race to hopefully take his first race win in 2 races in Ero Season 9. He didn't have the greatest of races last weekend at Spa, but he's definitely had a brilliant race weekend at Singapore. As I said, a quali ban, a last to first, has been achieved by Dave. He's going to be coming around the last few corners now, and it's going to be Dave round the last 2 corners in his second race in a row. He is going to win in Singapore. A last to first, a deserved victory for him. It's then going to be Zulf in P2 and Sucho P3. Zulf still hunting on his first win of the season. Then Stevie, after having all the damage and everything, being blocked in the pit stop by Dave, is now back up into P4 in this race. Tommy gets P5. As there's rain at the end of the race. Hello, where's this came from? There's rain on the screen of the drivers as the fireworks are going off, as the rain starts. As I was trying to say, Branimir scores his first points in ERO, and it's a nice big 8 points. So does Dave. Dave gets 25, which is the difference. Bastian finishes in P7. He could have been on for a win, maybe a podium, but he damaged his front wing, and that will be him in P7. We then have James Sullivan in P8, and then we have Villeneuve and Swistak having to go through these excruciating track conditions right now. As I think Villeneuve has the fastest lap. No, Tommy does. So Tommy's going to take home 11 points this weekend. What a race from Dave. As Dave gets driver of the day, and I would be surprised if he didn't, because the game normally likes to pick the driver who made the most positions. Dave literally went from the back of the field to the very front of the field. As F4 will be starting very shortly. As Dave, as I've been saying, P15 to P1, an absolutely brilliant race for him. Then Zolf still hunting for his first win of the season, but he will extend his championship lead with Suchel being in P3 and Stevie finishing in P4. A very great recovery drive from him though. And then Branimir scoring his first points of the season, finishes in P6. Then Bastian sadly finishes in P7. As I was saying, he could have been on for a very good race, but damages his front wing and having to pit ruined it really. James Sullivan finishes in P8, and then we have Villeneuve in P9 and Swistak in P10. Rounding up the points, we did have 10 finishers, so if you finished, you got points. And then everyone else who DNF'd, Milos DNFing on the second last lap, and then you have Tim, Wani, Blackwolf, and Nico Hultinen all DNFing throughout that race. Now, I want to do interviews, but this race has been going on for a very, very long time. As Bastian is saying, I hate Singapore. So, clearly there a bit of hate towards the track. But anyway, I wanted to do interviews for the first time because me and Crystal, as the F5 commentators now, maybe looking to start interviews towards the end of the season now. But with this being probably the longest race on the calendar, and F4 literally about to start, and like a few of the drivers in F5. We're going over to race in F4. F4 attendance not the greatest again. So a few of them are going over to race in F4, so I highly encourage you to go over and watch that. It will be up in a few minutes' time. But apart from that, we will see you next week. And next week is a very, very nice track. Well, depends. Some people have their own opinions on it. We are away to see Hungary. So definitely tune in to see how that one goes. The 12th round in the season, the 12th of 17, very near the end of the season, and we definitely will see driver standings and constructor standings start to be finalised. As anyway, that is the end of today's F5 race. As I said, go over and tune into F4 right now, and we'll see you next week at the Hungarian Grand Prix at the same time, Friday 6 p.m. British time or Greenwich Standard Time. But apart from that, thank you all for watching. I've been Cameron.